discuss and debate a unique confluence. The timeless beauty of fine arts meeting the boundless possibilities of technology. Art has always been a reflection of human imagination, and technology has always been a tool to extend it. When these two forces come together, they not only redefine creativity, but also open new pathways for expression, innovation, and connection with the world. It is this powerful blend that forms the theme of our seminar today, Fine Arts, Confluence of Creativity and Technology. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our respected chairperson, Ma'am Ms. Divya Chauhan, and Professor Dr. Pradeep Joshi, Sir, Group Additional Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean, Faculty of Applied Arts, Fine Arts, Performing Arts, and Visual Arts, for their constant encouragement and visionary guidance, which makes such academic pursuits possible. We are honored to be joined by visionaries and practitioners who have not only mastered their fields, but have also broken new ground by weaving together tradition and innovation, and who will be sharing their expertise and experiences, and we look forward to hearing from them. I welcome Mr. Amit Roy, founder of Iron Tribes, communication strategist and creative leader. Welcome, sir. Ms. Harsh Lumba, a distinguished visual artist, scholar, and senior fellow. Welcome, ma'am. Ms. Vandana Pant, founder and director of Folktech and Folklore Studios, a visionary storyteller and innovator. Welcome, ma'am. Ms. Kamini Minocha, senior artist and founder of Domain of Art. Welcome, ma'am. And Mr. Gaganpreet Singh Anand, art and animation manager at Aristocrat Gaming. Welcome, sir. We look forward to an engaging and insightful exchange of ideas that will truly enrich our understanding of how creativity and technology walk hand in hand. To set the stage for today's discussion, I invite Professor Dr. Pradeep Joshi, sir, to enlighten us with his thoughts and formally commence today's seminar.
Thank you. Good morning to all. Good morning. I would like to welcome all these speakers for the day here. Mr. Amit Roy, Ms. Harsh Lumba, Ms. Vandana Pant, Ms. Kamini Minocha, and Mr. Gagan Preeti for being here with us. I was briefly interacting with the esteemed speakers, and I was mentioning that the students primarily from the first year are going to be here from the undergrad as well as the PG programs. And besides it, yes, we have got these students from the other programs, even the final year programs are here. And the basic objective of this exercise is that the students who are in the fine arts program, may it be the painting, applied art, animation, visual communication. Of course, they have selected the program, they have taken the admission, but they have got keen interest to know where the career is lying in the days to come in the field in which they are pursuing studies. And whenever we invite artists, designers, or the industry members, I always request them to tell them that what should they do beyond the studies. Because classroom teaching, we have got the dedicated faculty members who are there, who provide the inputs in terms of course curriculum as per our program structure. But based upon your experience in the field, in the art and the design field, what should they do while they have got the additional time with them? Because some of them, as I said, are from the first year, so they have got many years as of now for completion of the program. So these insights will be very useful. And students, I must tell you, particularly for the first year, we keep on organizing such activities. This is the first activity for the first year students, which you'll be seeing. You'll find that every year we do international conference on the innovations in the visual arts. It's happening for the last couple of years, which we are doing. Besides it, we do seminars, talk shows. Idea is really simple. Topics may change, but the idea is to create a platform for interaction with the uh, artists, designers, and the animators, and the industry members with you people. And uh, very purpose of organizing it will only be fulfilled once you interact and do ask some relevant questions in the end. And before I move further, I must say that give a big round of clap for all of them who have come all the way in the early morning hours, taking out the time for you people. It's always appreciable because I know for a brief session of 15 to 20 minutes, people are coming traveling all the way in such a traffic condition. So I'm very thankful to all of you for being here. Few minutes. The moment we talk about the fine arts, it's known as a creative field. And but in the last few years, or say the decade, we have seen that a real confluence of the technology is happening. Now, we have to accept the fact that technology is there. Every day, new changes are happening. So we need to know and understand how can we apply the technology wherever it's possible, not mandatory to apply and in each and every field, but how it can be utilized in our field. At least one can try to assess it and try to see how best it can be utilized. Yesterday, I was in a meeting somewhere outside, was mentioning that many years back, I still remember, many years back, more than a decade or so, these students, particularly I'll say about the painting, were always saying that they are the creative people. So why should even they write about their work? Because they thought that, which is correct also, the work speaks itself. But the things have changed. Today, the market has become, it is galleries are there, but the online has become big. There's a lot of online auctions are happening today. Online market has become big. I need to market my product. Many sources are happening now. Many avenues are there. So I need to write about my work also. I need to explain about my work also. What I'm trying to do. It means one has to understand if I want to go for the online platform, what should I do? If we talk about the field of the advertising, people were doing the campaigns based upon the cases which are available, doing on the brands. Now the AI is there, big enabler, and a lot of rules of the game are going to get changed. So many people were using the real models, and now they have got the many things are AI created today. So many things are going to get changed. So one need to see and one need to keep the pace with that. Every day new softwares are coming. Every day new softwares are coming. And I always say that you people are privileged people, and you got the access to the technology, and so you need to see how can you make most of this. I remember many years back while I was doing my PhD from the IIT, and we never had online so many sources. We used to refer to the go to library, try to refer the books, journals, etc. But now, and we never had so many access to the phones also, internet also. But those things are of external environment, but they have become the enabler. You want to do research on any particular topic, by sitting, you can do that and you can actually explore many things which are there. So now, if we talk about the art market, there was a time in between, which was a COVID time. Everything got affected at that point of time. But if we see today, if I was just seeing some stats, it says that the global art market size was valued at around $524 billion in the 24, and it projected as 552 for the 2025, and around 944 for the 2033. Numbers may not be important, but yes, they are important because they show that there is a growth happening. It means in the field, in the art field. If we talk about the Indian market, as per the news items, it is estimated around 3,000 crores when we include the galleries, dealers, and the auction sales. And there were the last year, there was a news item which says that the sales by the top 50 artists reached a record breaking 301 crore, which was around $36.2 million, which was an increase of the around 19% from the earlier year. And as I mentioned, that impact of the AI, immersive technologies, blockchain, 3D technologies, NFT. All of that is going to be there. How they are going to be used? If we say that the blockchain technology is fundamentally transformed the process of establishing the origin and verifying the authenticity. So now the technology is there, but it is being actually used, applied for verifying the authenticity of the artwork. It means it is becoming enabler. You got the digital media, which is actually a big help. AI, we had a workshop. We have got a state of art artificial intelligence computer labs here in the MIT, and we have organized the interactive session with the faculty members, with the AI team. And idea was this to see that how best we can use and at least try to understand exactly that this work is happening. Like there are the many thoughts, people talking about many things. Somebody yesterday was mentioning that you lose the human touch or the emotional depth. That was the term which somebody has used actually when I was interacting yesterday somewhere outside. It's actually, it is enabler, but what is going to happen, when you talk about the art, there's a lot of emotional depth which is there in the art actually. So probably that is going to be missing. While, of course, you can actually utilize the various tools and techniques and try to give commands and try to come out and see the various types of outputs. So I'm not going to speak about that. I just wanted to introduce this part, that why we have kept this topic as the amalgamation of the creativity and the technology. And again, I would like to suggest to all of you that whatever is happening, which you come to know through the media, you see what type of things are happening. Try to do a lot of research on their own also. So do not only look for that, let's see what's being taught in the class. Whatever is to be taught will be taught anyway in the class, because that goes as per course curriculum. But beyond that, the where I started, I'll end up there. That we say that teaching beyond classrooms. I see today, first year, if I compare with the final year students who are sitting here in the first year, there's an ample amount of time with the first year. As per our revised curriculum, there are many hours which are available with the students, but that is intentionally there to give you more space, more room to study on your own also. It's not a free time that I don't have a class in the second half. But it means if you got a second half free, but your module is happening on a say painting or something, you can always keep on working. It means direct teaching is not there, but you can always keep on working in the studio. So you should, and another thing, when you are in a creative field, then I always believe that in creative field, teaching is always important. Teacher is always there to guide you there as mentor. But here the role of the teacher is much more of the guide and the mentor in many cases. Because based upon the guidance which is being given, all of you are going to take the shape as a different creative person. So, but do spend time on these things while you are pursuing your studies. So once again, I would like to thank all these team speakers, and I look forward to hear all of them. And as I said in the beginning, I look forward that in the end, we'll open it for all of you to ask some relevant questions. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for setting the tone for today's seminar. We'll now begin with the speaker sessions. Our first speaker for the day, Mr. Amit Roy. Mr. Amit Roy is the founder of Iron Tribes. He's a communication strategist, creative director, storyteller, writer, and a content designer. He has over 26 years of experience across media, events, and experiential marketing. As a strategy and creative lead, he has been associated with India's leading creative agencies like Jagran, DDB Mudra, Publicis, and Precept, and has been instrumental in campaign designs for Coca-Cola, Ministry of Defense, British High Commission, Autodesk, JK Group, Suzuki, ITC, Apple India, Canon, Cisco, to name a few. Please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Amit Roy. Over to you, sir.
Hi. Thank you, guys. Sorev? Okay, good. Sona mat, please. Huh? because everything starts here, and I'd really love to thank Professor Sahai and Dr. Joshi for this wonderful welcome. Right? देखो हम ना, we are the stage guys, okay? हम बहुत animated है. हम stage पे खड़े होकर बात नहीं करते, हम नीचे आ जाते हैं, because that is what happens. That what makes the entire audience, just jago grahak jago types, just wake up, be on your toes, and listen to what's happening all around. Because all these people out there on this dais, I mean, they bring with them immense amount of experience, and I'm sure that it will be entertaining, enlightening for all of you, right? So what Dr. Joshi was talking about, what you should be knowing besides your studies, and what you should be doing besides your studies. That's very important. And the second thing that he said, that you are privileged. We were not. Right? We had to do a lot of studies. We had to do a lot of hunting. When we had to go into libraries, wait for our turn to pick those books up, order from overseas, and those were pretty costly stuff. But we could somehow manage that. Today we are living in an information-free age, right? Everything is free for you, so you really don't need to go through the rigmarole that we had been, all of us together, right? So what happens is, I'll segment this entire conversation into three halves for you, all of you, to understand it very categorically. What you are doing right now, what you are going to learn here, and what's going to happen when you go out. That's very important, right? But when it comes to fine arts, I was going through your curriculum, and it was extremely exciting for me as well, because I was a little envious, because I always wanted to pursue fine arts. Somehow it did not happen. I resorted to storytelling and a little bit of sketching. That's fine. But I missed this opportunity, what you are lucky enough to be or enjoy. I'm really congratulated for that. So what happens is that mitti pata mitti, zameen, right? So the first part of this entire story, just remember this will be possibly the genie for you when you go out and do something of your own and start exploring. Remember this word, this is an acronym which I personally used, got benefited out of it, and that is called SOIL, soil, mitti, right? Before I come to soil, I'll tell you something. When we were studying, Papa used to say that, engineering कर ले बेटा, medical कर ले, यही future है. जब ग्रेजुएशन में गए तो बताए एमबीए कर लिए, यही फ्यूचर है. जब पास आउट हुए पता चला .com इज द फ्यूचर. .com बस्ट के बाद पता चला डिजिटल मीडिया इज द फ्यूचर. देन सोशल मीडिया इज द फ्यूचर, एंड नाउ एआई इज द फ्यूचर. At every stage, something or the other will be the future. But one thing remains constant, guys, what? Your power of imagination will always remain the future, irrespective of what comes and what goes on. And as students of fine arts, as a student of applied arts, as a student of visual storytelling, this is the only power that you need to harness. And that's where soil comes in. Because the power of imagination को कैसे decode करें? Because हमें कुछ किसी ने सिखाया नहीं, हमने had to beg, borrow, steal, गाली सुनी, रात जागे, we had to go through sleepless nights to learn what it is all about. So that is where soil comes in. So it's the power of soil, just remember this. S stands for storytelling. If you can't tell your stories, nothing is going to sell. Ultimately, everything boils down to an Excel sheet. No canvas, nothing. No canvas, nothing. Everything boils down to an Excel sheet, because that generates revenue. उससे आपका घर चलता है, उसका कंपनी आपको तनख्वाह देती है, या आप अगर सोलोप्रेन्योर हो तो आपको घर चलता है. तो एक्सेल शीट आपको मेंटेन करना पड़ता है. तो कैनवस हट जाता है, आपका स्क्रीन हट जाता है, सब कुछ comes down to that. So for that to happen, you need to be a very good student. So S stands for storytelling. O stands for observation. Remember that, whatever you see, whatever you hear, you have to absorb that, and you have to replicate that into your story. That will propel your ideas. That is I. And L is either listening or learning. You cannot stop learning. So the power of storytelling is your power of observation, O, your ideation power, that is I, and your learning power, that is L. Never forget this, use it, and it's a perfect recipe for success, I'm telling you. But you have to learn, you have to do a lot of research. That's what Dr. Joshi said, right? You have been given this opportunity in the first year to do a lot of research. Do that. Don't waste your time. You now today we have got Gemini, we have got Chat GPTs, we have got Claude, we have got everything, right? We have got Perplexity. Give a command and see what happens there. Just see what you don't know. They are there to help you out. The second most aspect of it is that remember this, that what you are learning here, and when you go out, when you step out of this campus for a bigger future, larger perspective, you will always work on two media. There are always two media on which you are going to work as a student of fine arts. One media is on which you are creating, you are portraying your imagination. It can be a canvas, it can be a screen. You can use any software, Premiere, After Effects, Da Vinci, कुछ भी use कर लो, Photoshop, AI, कुछ मैंने Illustrator, I mean, right? You do anything. The other medium, which is very important, which at times you may miss out on, is the medium on which you are going to project your creation. That is not the same as the same medium on which you are creating. आप एक 16:9 27 इंच के स्क्रीन पे सब कुछ बना डालते हो, राइट? आपने कभी ये सोचा है कि ये कहाँ प्रोजेक्ट होगा, कैसे दिखाएंगे, कौन देखेगा? That's where the beauty lies. That is where the research starts. कि आज मैंने एक चीज क्रिएट तो कर दी. Is it going to be used as a television commercial? Is it going to be used as an outdoor hoarding? Is it going to be used as a touch screen? Is it going to be used as a 360-degree projection mapping? Is it going to be used as a 5D or a 7D projection? Is it going to be used as a drone technology or a drone show? Is it going to be used as a rotoscopy? Is it going to be used as an augmented reality or a virtual reality showcase? So this becomes very important for us. The medium on which we create and the medium on which we project. And इस दोनों का जो gap है ना, जो डॉक्टर जोशी अभी बता रहे थे, that gap is powered by an enabler called technology. आप कुछ भी बना लो, you need an online platform, that's Dr. Joshi said, right, to sell yourself. So that is an enabler. आपने creative बनाए, आपने animation किया. How that animation is going to be interactive? Because today, what we see today, we are talking about more about experiential marketing. Everything becomes experiential for us. What I believe is good is not good enough till the time my consumers, my audience, my spectators clap for it. Once that is the accolade, that is the stick mark, as an artist. We shouldn't, because we have got a problem with us. हमारी ego बहुत high होता है. हम बोलते हैं यार हमसे ज्यादा तुम क्या जानते? I had to had a lot of fight with my wife. I used to create presentations. I had to tell stories. I had to first do the litmus test with her. She would say, "Not happening, bro." Every time I would go and say, and she said, "No, समझ ही नहीं आ रहा." Come on, say, come on, आपको आता ही नहीं कुछ. But what happened was, whenever I used to take the same story to my clients, client was also do the same nodding. No, not happening. So that hit me very bad. And that was the time when I started retrospecting. And I said, there's something is missing, boss. That was the time when I figured out that I was telling the story to satisfy my ego. I was not telling my consumer story. So there are two options that you are going to do. Either you become a solo artist or a solopreneur of yours, or you are going to do take up a job, right? Whatever you do, your responsibility as an artist is to create that wow factor. You have to play with the five senses. That is where technology is the biggest boon that you can actually exploit. कैसे करोगे? Please come over. and I'll take you through the entire experiential journey, how it happens. आप शायद इसको यूज भी करते होंगे, आपको पता भी नहीं। आप कभी वर्चुअल ट्राई ऑन ट्राई किए किसी शोरूम में, जहां पे आपको ड्रेस पहनने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप टच स्क्रीन में जाके डालते हो, अच्छा ये टॉप मेरे को अच्छा लगता है, ये जीन्स मेरे को अच्छा लगता है, बिफोर इवन सिलेक्टिंग दैट हैपेंस, राइट? दीस आर वर्चुअल ट्राई ऑन जो आपको सोशल मीडिया पे भी मिलेगा, राइट? आपने फेस चेंज कर लिया, अच्छा ये मेकअप कैसा लगेगा, व्हाट इज दैट? Some artists created that, right? As an experience. Technology enabled it. And that is what every brand today, each and every brand, right from Apple to HLL, right from Marico to Bajaj, everybody is doing it. So what happened was in May this year, Ministry of Information and Broadcast came to us. I work extensively with agencies across India. So they were hosting Waves, World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit in Geo Convention Center in Bombay. So this is the first time they were launching it. And it's a big initiative. We were being given the task to conceptualize the Indian pavilion for this. And the story that had been told to us, the brief that was given to us was that position India as the cradle of human civilization, communication, art, and visualization. That was a one-line brief. What we came out with, we combined all the 5 senses and we segmented that into 3 distinct pillars. That is where fine arts come in, that is where visual art comes in, that is where applied art comes in. We divided that into Shruti, hearing, because that is how communication is to happen. जब एक गुरु एक शिष्य को बताते थे. Kriti, right from the cave painting to the canvas. That was the story we narrated. And then Drishti. That is a visual art that you see and watch. And everything, we onboarded fine art students, we onboarded architects, we onboarded visual artists, we onboarded technology guys. And then it became a success when Mr. Shah Rukh Khan lent his voice and said, Brahmand ki pehli dhwani, Om. And that was the beginning. So this is how you need to stitch your stories, whichever art form you are in, because you need to make yourself sellable. I'm sorry I'm using this word. This is hard-hitting words because लोग सोचते हैं ना हम तो आर्टिस्ट है तो हम क्रिएटिव है. But let me tell you this. You have to understand the art behind the science and the science behind the art. What you think is art is incomplete art till the time you haven't understood the science behind it. That's where your course you will find anatomy. That's where you will find one very important thing that I heard, and I was talking to Dr. Sahai, Mr. Sahai also on that, Professor Sahai, right? You know, behavioral discovery science or something like that, right? Behavioral science. But let me just end this entire session just by saying that there are 3 more words before you add behavioral science to it. And you know what? That is called consumer media consumption behavioral science. You will understand it later on because आप जो भी कुछ बेचोगे ना, that will be a part of the consumption for your audience, spectator or consumer. दिन की शुरुआत वो करता है, ब्रश करता है, न्यूज़पेपर उठाता है, मोबाइल देखता है, गाड़ी में बैठता है, रेडियो सुनता है, ऑफिस पहुंचता है, लैपटॉप खोलता है, ईमेल खोलता है, सोशल मीडिया ब्राउज करता है, दोस्तों के साथ मिलता है, ऑफिस के बाद वो कैफे में जाता है, दोस्तों के साथ बातें करते, गप्पे मारते, फिल्म देखने जाते, वापस घर आते, टीवी देखते हैं, सो जाते. So the entire day in the life of a consumer, where and how you are going to impress him through your story, through your art, is the challenge, is the task, and that's exciting. Correct? So, gear up. Jag jao, because something fascinating is going to happen post my session is over. So, remember this thing, boys. SOIL, power of storytelling, power of observation, power of idea, and power of learning. Two media that you are going to work on the media that you are actually designing and the media on which you are going to showcase, and technology is the enabler. And imagination is the future. Come what may. आज AI है, कल emotional intelligence आएंगे, वो भी अलग है. So there is a company by the name of Symbol, which is run by Mr. Rana Gujral. You can check him on LinkedIn. So he's working in the next level. Yesterday, there were a couple of guys who are Indians who have come out with a platform of telepathy. You can go and check. So you don't have to speak, you just have to imagine. And the AI is going to record that. That's another science, that's another art. Extend it. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for such a well articulated presentation. I mean, talk on our topic in a nutshell, which gave us a lot of points to think over. I'm sure students have a lot to take from there. Next, I'll introduce Ms. Harsh Lumba. Our next speaker is Ms. Harsh Lumba, a distinguished visual artist, scholar, and founder of Socionaut Foundation with over 4 decades of experience in fine arts. An MFA graduate from a prestigious Surikov Institute, Moscow. She's a recipient of the Senior Fellow Award from the Ministry of Culture, India. Her works are part of collections in India, Russia, and across the world, and have been showcased at significant platforms, including the Art, Architecture, and Design Biennale 2023 by NGMA and the National Museum. Ms. Harsh is also an author and has presented research at international conferences, blending art with scholarly discourse. Inspired by nature, her neoteric style explores circles, spirals, and metaphysical themes, combining visual art with poetic expressions. Please put your hands together for Ms. Harsh Lumba.
Good day, Amity, and distinguished guests. I wouldn't go extempore. I prepared a proper paper, and I think I'll be sticking to that. Later on, I'll be talking about some points which you can take forward in your future as future artists or designers. So I'm going to talk about AI versus human imagination. We are artists. Many of us have a lot of questions, fears, कि क्या होने वाला है फ्यूचर में. बहुत से लोग हैं कि हमारी जॉब तो नहीं चली जाएगी और क्रिएटिव लाइन में क्या होगा. And we all are, even at our level, everybody is asking questions. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Harsh Lumba, an intuitive painter who creates soundscapes on canvas. My work translates sound into colors, textures, and forms. I see imagination as a bridge between sound, soul, and color. AI is advancing. And it's reshaping creativity, but how does it compare with human intuition? Today, I'd like to share my perspective on a question that many of us in the creative world are asking. Can artificial intelligence truly imagine, or is imagination something uniquely human? AI refers to the simulation of human-like intelligence in machines. It is a science of creating systems that can process information, learn from data, recognize patterns, and make decisions, sometimes faster and more accurately than humans. However, AI functions within the boundaries of its programming and data, excelling in logic and repetition, but lacking emotions, intuition, and lived experiences. It learns from data like a mirror reflecting what already exists, precise in logic, yet bound by its codes. AI can imitate brilliance, but it does not feel. It resonates with knowledge, but does not with meaning. Whereas human intelligence is the natural ability of the mind to learn, reason, imagine, and adapt. Unlike AI, it is not limited to logic alone. It carries emotions, intuition, creativity, and the power of imagination. Humans can dream beyond data, sense meaning to silence, and create new realities through art, stories, and ideas. It is this blend of logic and imagination that makes human intelligence dynamic, fluid, and deeply connected to life. Human intelligence is a living symphony woven with reason, emotion, memory, and imagination. It is the ability not only to solve problems, but to dream beyond them. Unlike AI's mirror, the human mind is a canvas of intuition and creativity, where silence turns into soundscapes and the unseen finds form in art. It is intelligence with a soul, forever expanding, forever reimagining. To me, imagination is the vast inner universe of the human spirit. It is not confined to what the eye can see. It stretches into what the heart feels and what the soul dares to dream. Imagination is a river fed by memory, emotion, intuition, and subconscious visions. It allows us to travel into realms that have no physical map, into worlds that exist only in possibility, waiting to be born. For me, as a painter, every brushstroke becomes a doorway, every color, a vibration of unseen energy. Logic has no rule here. Instead, it is wonder, curiosity, and intuition that guides my hand. Imagination is where silence takes form as landscapes, soundscapes, where feelings transform into textures, and where the invisible finds a voice. It is both deeply personal and universally human. Hence, imagination is a way of being. Imagination rises from memory, emotions, and subconscious whispers, weaving them together into visions that transcend reality. It allows us uh, it allows us to step beyond boundaries, to wander into no map, no rules, no limits. Imagination is the bridge between the known and the unknown, the seen and the unseen. It is where dreams converse with reality, where silence becomes music, and where feelings take shape as colors. It is not bound by reason. It is wild, fluid, unpredictable, and alive. As an artist, I live within this space. I'm guided not by logic, but by wonder. Every canvas becomes a landscape of inner sound, where thoughts merge with spirit, imagination transforms emptiness into possibility, and possibility into creation. It is the most profound expression of our humanness, the ability to give birth to worlds that do not yet exist. What is creativity? Now let us turn to AI. Artificial intelligence has astonished us with its abilities. It can generate paintings, write poems, compose music, even mimic the style of great masters. To the eye and ear, its creations may seem magical, even indistinguishable from human work. Yet beneath the surface lies a simple truth. AI is not creating, it is calculating. We should remember that. It is not creating, it's calculating. AI, it's at its essence, is a vast processor of information. It consumes oceans of data, millions of images, words, and sounds, then it identifies patterns, correlations, and probabilities. From these patterns, it predicts what might come next, which word should follow, what color might belong, what note would fit the sequence. Its outputs resemble creativity, but they are recombinations, reflections of what already exists. And here arises a question: does prediction equal imagination? Can a system that rearranges fragments of the past every true dream of future? AI does not wake in the night haunted by memory, nor feel the spark of inspiration that comes from longing or wonder. It does not tremble before beauty or weep at loss. It cannot translate silence into song or turn an ache into a brushstroke. AI is brilliant at echoing the world we feed it, but it cannot go beyond the echo. It mirrors, it mimics, it calculates, it can surprise us with its complexities, but not with its soul. Human imagination, by contrast, births what has never been seen before, not because of data, but because of the spirit's restless urge to create. So while AI may dazzle with its cleverness, it is still bound by the cage of logic and pattern. It reflects the world that exists, but it cannot envision the world that does not yet exist. That power, the ability to dream the impossible, to give form to the unseen, remains the sacred domain of human imagination. To me, imagination is the infinite inner universe of the human spirit. It is not limited to what the eye can see. It stretches into what the heart feels, what memory holds, and what the soul dares to dream. Imagination rises from emotions, subconscious visions, and the intuitions. Imagination is not repetition, it is invention. It is our most profound gift to bring forth the unseen and give birth to new realities. Now let us turn to AI. Artificial intelligence astonishes us. It can generate beautiful paintings. To the casual eye, this output may seem very, very creative. When asked to create or given a prompt, it predicts the next word, the next brush strokes, based on what has already been done before. It works, may resemble creativity, it's reflection, a mirror. And this raises the question that prediction equals imaginations. AI is an echo, not a voice. This brings us to the heart of the difference. AI reflects patterns of the past. Human beings are the source. We generate, we invent, we dream. AI can remix, but only humans can imagine. When I paint a soundscape, I'm not following a formula or a pattern. I'm responding to something invisible, a vibration of energy, sound, a memory, an emotion, a mystery that only the imagination can sense. Each of my artwork has multiple layers of paint, and each tint is a mix of several hues. I do not use my paint straight from the bottle. Even the black paint has mix of many colors. Try doing that, you will see a different hue of black. AI will not be able to calculate that or predict my next movements. That is where the difference lies. AI is bound by logic, but human imagination is boundless and unpredictable. AI can imitate, but humans can create what has never existed. AI can echo, but humans can dream. In the end, it is imagination that makes us truly alive. It is the spirit's way of transcending the present, and stepping into possibility. This is what defines us, and that is what no machine can ever replicate. It just happened one fine day. My figurative, surreal paintings turned from semi-abstract into these soundscapes, the ones you see on the screen. I started visualizing circles and spirals because of the music I was listening to. My hand was automatically moving into the spiral motion. I wasn't guiding it, it was just happening because of the music I was concentrating upon. The world changed that very moment. Shapes started to form on their own, and since then, I have not looked back. Art is evolving and my perception of vibrations as well. In my practice, I listen to sound, sometimes music, sometimes the hum of everyday life, footsteps, bell, ring, phone ring, different sounds, and I allow it transform into color, shapes, and forms. Every sound carries within it an emotion, a vibration, a kind of hidden energy that cannot be seen but can be deeply felt. When I paint, I'm not copying what I hear. I'm translating its resonance. A note becomes a brushstroke, a rhythm becomes texture, silence becomes a breathing space on the canvas. In this process, I'm not following rules or formulas. I'm following intuition, a dialogue between the outer sound and my inner imagination. Think of it this way: when a piece of music plays, two people can hear the exact same sound, but each will feel it differently. One may feel joy, another may feel longing, another may sense peace. Imagination transforms sound into something personal, something that belongs uniquely to each of us. And when I paint, I'm giving form to my inner response, my inner world. Now, an AI could take the same sound and analyze it mathematically. It could break it into frequencies, chart the rhythm, calculate the harmonies, and map the vibrations with absolute precision. It might even generate visual patterns from these numbers. But what it cannot do is feel. It cannot hear the sorrow in a single violent string. It cannot sense the tenderness hidden in a whispered note. It cannot tremble with joy at a sudden crescendo or ache in the silence between two beats or even cry at some words which remind you of certain people or moments. That is the true difference. Our AI can map, but it cannot translate. It can measure, but it cannot feel. The act of turning sound into feelings and then feeling into form is not a matter of data, it's a matter of spirit. This is the gift of imagination, the ability to give energy, a language to turn vibrations into vision. For me, this is what makes art alive. It is not about accuracy, it is about resonance. A machine may calculate sound, but only human imagination can transform it into a world of color, emotion, and meaning. So we'll talk about AI strengths as well, because we cannot ignore the future is of AI, of course. AI has remarkable strengths. It can produce thousands of variations in a matter of seconds, creating forms, colors, and compositions at a speed that no human hand could ever achieve. It can seamlessly blend styles, merge influences from different eras, and produce surreal, unexpected combinations that challenge our habitual ways of seeing. In this, AI becomes brilliant collaborator, a tool that expands the artist's capacity for experimentation and exploration in ways that we previously didn't imagine. It thrives on multiplicity. It can create endlessly, uncovering possibilities that a human mind, constrained by time or focus, might never discover. It can mix realism with abstraction, classical with futuristic, chaos with harmony, revealing combinations that surprise even those who designed it. Its speed, tirelessness, and precision makes it an extraordinary resource for pushing the boundaries of medium, style, and form. AI is a powerful partner for the human imagination. It can inspire us, suggest paths we might never have considered, and accelerate the creative process. It challenges us to think differently, to experiment boldly, and to explore the edges of possibility. But no matter how sophisticated its outcome, AI remains a collaborator, a tool, a mirror, while the human spirit remains the true source of vision, emotion, and invention. Human imagination has strengths AI cannot replicate. We bring intuition, emotion, memory, culture, social, and lived experience. We create not only for the sake of producing something new, but to express who we are, what we have lived through, and what we yearn for. Our imperfections, our uncertainties, even our silences carry meaning. That is the soul of human imagination. And the soul is the real difference. AI has knowledge without experience. It has calculation without consciousness. Human imagination emerges from a journey, from loving, from suffering, from celebrating, from healing. Art is not only the final product, it is a journey, the process, the transformation that cannot be coded. Personally, I don't see AI as a rival. I see it as a wonderful tool, a powerful, astonishing tool that can expand the horizon of our creativity. It can generate ideas, explore endless possibilities, and suggest paths we may never have imagined on our own. It can mix styles, create variations, and push the boundaries of techniques and medium. In this sense, AI is like a collaborator that works tirelessly, amplifying what we can do and accelerating experimentation in ways that we were previously unimaginable. It can cut short time and find solutions at a blink of an eye. It's like a magic wand. Yet, even with all these capabilities, AI remains a tool. It can simulate creativity, but it cannot originate meaning. It can assemble patterns, but it cannot feel the pulse of inspiration. The soul of art, the emotion, the intuition, the authenticity still comes from us. The human mind and spirit are the source of vision, of intention, of imagination. When we create, we are not just arranging forms or sounds, we are breathing life into them. With experience, memory, and emotion. The future of art, I believe, lies not in the competition with AI, but in collaboration. AI can expand our technical possibilities, suggest new directions, and surprise us with combinations we might not even have seen. In the end, AI can take us far, but only imagination can take us somewhere entirely new. Ethical and philosophical reflections. But these questions go far beyond mere curiosity. They strike at the very sense of what it means to create. If AI produces a painting, who truly owns it? It is the machine that extends the code, the programmer who designed the algorithm, or the person who prompted, guided, and curated its output. Recently, the rise of AI generated manga art has sparked significant controversy within the creative community, replicating existing artworks without explicit permission from the original artist. This practice has led to accusations of copyright infringement and plagiarism, alleging that the AI platform unlawfully used and distributed images of that iconic characters. This controversy highlights the ethical and legal challenges posed by AI in the creative industry. As AI continues to evolve, it raises fundamental questions about authorship, originality, and the protection of intellectual property in this digital age. And even beyond ownership, we are confronted with a deeper inquiry. What is art truly about? Is it simply the final image, the object that hangs on the wall or appears on the screen? Or is it about the intention, the process, and the experience? The invisible labor of the mind, the emotion, and the imagination that breathes life into every stroke, every choice, every moment of creation. As artists, when we are painting, we are in the process. And that is the best moment of every painter. As students, you will also feel that you're totally focused while painting. Once the work is over and you put your name on the canvas, your attachment to that is over. Now it's the property of a viewer. So that process, that's important. How many hours you put into that art, how much focus you had there. Can something without consciousness, without memory, without lived experience ever be genuinely authentic? Can a machine understand longing, delight, wonder, or grief? Can it sense the quiet pulse of a fleeting emotion and transform it into form, color, or sound that resonates with the human heart? AI may assemble patterns, mimic styles, and even surprise us with novel combination, but it cannot feel, it cannot dream, it cannot carry the weight of intention. So this is the future of creativity. I want to talk about that how the future galleries are going to look like. They are going to be immersive experiences where you'll be having art and you will feel it, you will sense it, and you will walk into it. That's how the future art galleries will look like. So my standpoint for me is that music has been an integral part of my life. And in my recent decades, my art has been born out of listening, not only to sound, but to silence, to rhythm, and to quiet inner voice that speaks in colors and forms. So I'll leave you with this thought. AI may stimulate creativity, but only humans can dream. Only we can move beyond. So let us embrace AI as a tool, but let us never forget that the dreamer, the visionary, the source is us. Thank you. And I'll just say interdisciplinary art is the future. You people need to be honed with skills of all, not just your hand, but your mind, your soul, and digitally equipped as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your heartfelt and thought-provoking presentation. Next speaker for the day, Ms. Vanna Pant. Our next speaker is Ms. Vanna Pant, the founder and managing director of Folk Tech Studios Private Limited and Folklog Studios Private Limited. Founder and MD of Folk Tech Studios, where she blends education, technology, and storytelling. And I am Ahmedabad alumna. She's a storyteller, writer, filmmaker, and museum professional, having worked on prestigious projects such as the Red Fort Interpretation Center, Simritwan Earthquake Memorial, and Jayaprakash Narayan Museum. She launched Project Folklog, India's biggest folk archival initiative supported by the British Council, and later expanded it into a children's edutainment app. Ma'am has curated international festivals, fellowships, and storytelling programs integrating folk narratives into schools and cultural spaces. Her work continues to bridge tradition with innovation, making storytelling accessible and impactful across platforms. I welcome ma'am to please address the gathering. Guys, a round of applause for ma'am.
Thank you very much for having me. हाँ वो उस फोल्डर के अंदर सभी कुछ है नहीं पहले मैं बोलूंगी चलो हाँ पीपीटी उसके बाद Hello, everybody. So a very long seminar for all of you. So all of you are fine art students, right, over here? Correct? Like first year students or final year postgraduate students, right? So why did you choose fine arts? Why did you choose to study fine arts? Maybe you painted, maybe you sketched, maybe you made portraits, maybe you made caricatures, maybe you like digital paintings and dabbled in that, or or felt your art teacher told you that this is a good career to be in, and so you did it. And now that you're here, as all esteemed speakers before me have been speaking about various things about going beyond your curriculum, equipping yourself with various techniques, even technology, imagination, soil, as Mr. Roy put it, and as Ms. Lumba also said, towards the end, the the mingling of various disciplines is important for being a creative professional. So maybe the time is right for you to not just think of yourself as visual artists, but think of yourself as creative professionals. And for that, everything that has been said before me stands relevant. So while listening to everybody, there was just some points that I put together. So I was saying, I feel I'll give you a little background of what we do. So I started in advertising, went to filmmaking, continued with events, brand, and then started a company, a production house, wherein we started doing sound and light shows, heritage related shows, documentaries. While doing that, someone would get in touch with us for a 5D show. So everything that Mr. Roy mentioned, 5D, 7D, all these things were thrown at us. Now we are just a storyteller, and technology is also evolving. And so we started evolving alongside, understanding what the technology was, how best we could use it. And for that, I think what came in handy with me and my organization was thinking on our feet and problem solving, connecting dots, and also constantly learning, which also came up in every talk just before me. आप सीखना नहीं छोड़ सकते. Every time you're going out, you have to open your eyes and you have to absorb. And these can be different things. So as a creative professional, it's important that you travel. And wherever you go, whichever village you go, whichever town you go, you experience the food there, you experience the people there, you experience the language there, their rituals, and keep filing it in your head or on a notebook or somewhere, wherever you take notes. You travel in a metro, observe people, see their mannerism, their, the patterns as to what's happening. You listen to music, deconstruct the music for yourself. Why do I like this music? What speaks to me in this particular one? I mean, is it the rhythm? Is it the singing? Is it the lyrics? What makes it mine? It sort of talks to me. Why? Cinema, theater, documentaries. See a lot. Go to museums. You're in school, you're in college. I mean, in US, we used to call it school. That's why I keep coming back, school. So you're in college, you have time, as Professor Joshi mentioned, use it to go to museums, interactive, immersive museums. There are quite a few of them around. And old museums and monuments. Go to all these places, try and understand the architecture, try and understand the motifs that are there, try and understand the color, the material that the buildings were made of, and keep filing away this information in your head, because this will come handy one day. One day you'll be creating a piece of art, one day you'll be creating a piece of, background of this thing. We, in our profession, in our organization, we make museums. So we started with just writing museums, but because of who we are, people started depending on us to even design museums, and we are not designers. So we started learning as to why they were asking us to design, and also taking help from designers. So we started hiring designers, working with them, collaborating with them. But what we found that we were doing was understanding consumer ko kya chahiye. That could be the sarkar, or that could be a private organization, and understanding unko really mein kya chahiye, then solving that problem, and that solving that problem through an experience ki consumer jab ise consume karega to wo kaise consume karega. So should it be a 270? Should it be like a reflective surface? Should I make a big globe and do things like that? And we were given different problems at different times. So sometimes a building didn't exist, and now you imagine a building and you do it. Make a museum on music, and there is just plot of land, and make it. और कभी कभी हमें ऐसे होता था, जैसे कच्छ में the Smriti Wan Museum, which is the world's third most beautiful museum according to UNESCO. Indian government went and got an award for it, I think about a year ago. उस म्यूजियम की प्रॉब्लम ये थी कि वो म्यूजियम पहले से डिजाइंड था, 20 साल पहले से उसका कंस्ट्रक्शन चालू था. So the museum was, so to say, made, and now you had to do the storytelling. So sometimes you get storytelling, visualization, everything on the blank surface, blank canvas. Sometimes you get bana diya, ab iske andar fit kar do. So we also had we've done 3 museums inside Red Fort, for instance, and these were inside old barracks that the Brits had made. So the area is defined, confined. You have to do your storytelling within these 10 rooms, 10 tiny rooms. How do you tell Subhash Chandra Bose's story during that, in that? How do you do the story of entire Red Fort within those confines? But then you use technology, but intelligently. You have to let people use थिंग्स, टैक्टाइल, चीजों को ऐसा कि आप कुछ स्पर्श कर सके, कुछ छू सके, उससे कुछ फील कर सके, होना चाहिए. हर म्यूजियम में हर एक चीज में जो आप डिजाइन करें, जो आप इमेजिन करें, वो होना चाहिए. ओनली टेक्नोलॉजी जस्ट गोस जस्ट सो फार, एंड बिलीव मी, टेक्नोलॉजी डिलीवर क्या करता है ऐसी, स्पेशली म्यूजियम जैसी स्पेसेस में, टेक्नोलॉजी कोई इक्विपमेंट डिलीवर करता है, वो इक्विपमेंट खराब होगा ही होगा. So there has to be more in that museum. There has to be this atmosphere, this mood, this feeling that you create, this overarching story that you create over there, and that goes through the entire monument, the entire place, the entire structure that you were working on. So that's very important. And to do all of that, like couple of days ago we got a call from NSD, National School of Drama. We want to do something really big. We want to put projection mapping, we want to do VFX, we also want to do fountains, we also want to do drones, everything during a play. So yes, we will try and solve that, but different technologies have to come together, and that is where all that you learned while you traveled in those metros, while you did everything, when you went to museums, when you traveled to different villages, when you met different people for technology, consumed technology in museum, you understood how things worked, and now you're able to connect those dots. You are able to see the feasibility also, and thus work like that. So on the question of AI, I would say that it's very easy to depend on AI. We do use it, sparingly, I would say, but we do use it, and we find that it's counterintuitive to critical thinking. So we feel, use it as a tool, like you would use an Adobe Photoshop, you would use something like that, do that particular work, give it the kind of prompt that you would want to give, which tells how much you've already thought. That thinking is yours. What you want finally to create is your vision. You're using that to help you visualize something which you maybe individually cannot. Okay, and you need maybe a 10 people team or something like that. Fair, fine, but first build that imagination, first build that vision, first figure out what makes you unique. Why is your art unique? How you take a motivation and inspiration, build on that. How is that unique? And how, when that is unique, when you understand yourself as a creative professional, you also understand how to use something to go further, because now you know a vision. This is the vision that I have. This is what works for me. I am an individual creative professional who works like this, who works towards this. Now you use the technology to enhance your work, to enhance your vision. So I think I've spoken enough about this. If anybody has any questions, please, you're welcome to ask. No questions? So I will basically tell you what we've been doing, where fine arts, which all of you study, was not something that we often used in our work, because we're storytellers, we're filmmakers, and film is usually film. So fine arts was very rarely used. In 2015, we started an archiving process of of folk stories from all over the country. And while we were doing that, we got supported by British Council in 2019, and that resulted in a website. We went to Sundarbans, we went to Telangana, various parts in Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Jaisalmer, to collect stories from folk artists, from traditional theater groups, from grandmothers, grandfathers, and in their own dialect. We spent a lot of time translating those stories. Now, even till this stage, no fine arts in our story. And we translated them, we did all of that, edited, color corrected, put them all on our website. We were doing workshops in schools, telling these stories to as many children as possible, taking it across. The reason for archiving stories came from a feeling that if we don't protect these stories may die. All of us hear stories from our parents, grandparents, but now the time is sort of less. Everybody doesn't have that kind of time, and everybody is becoming an island. So you don't have that kind of bridge anymore. Moreover, we we hear or we are educated in a lot of international stories, Pied Piper of Hamelin, those Seven Dwarfs, Hansel and Gretel, and all of that. And all of them talk about problems, trees, rivers that are not there in India. So हिंदुस्तानी बच्चा हिंदुस्तान को ही नहीं समझता. उसको पूछो ब्रेड कहाँ से आती है, बोलेगा पड़ोस की दुकान से आती है, ब्लिंकिट से आती है, उसे नहीं पता. So अब दलिया को कहते हैं, उसे नहीं पता. दलिया कहते हैं, दलिया इंग्लिश में भी लिखा होता है, but he doesn't know. दाल को दाल क्यों कहते हैं, doesn't. So from that, the cypress tree is good. It does grow at various places in India also, but that's not the tree that grows in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and a lot of places. Brahmaputra flows here. Why is it red in color? Various other things that the child didn't know, and we wanted the child to know that. And that is when, in 22, the infusion of fine arts happened in our project. And we decided that now is the time to make an app for children, because children are not consuming the stories that we have created or we have collected in the form that we have collected, which is me telling a story, sitting and telling a story, which is like a documentary, right? How do I make them consume these stories? So they are usually watching Cocomelon, XYZ, and Pogo TV at XYZ. So let us try and do something for them. And that is why we involved, I would say, almost every design school in India. We worked with IIT Bombay, IDC. We worked with CEPT, we worked with NID, we worked with NIFT, we worked with College of Arts, we worked with IIAD. We worked with all these design schools to give them workshops in these stories and have their students interpret these stories in their own style. But there was another catch in this. We started another archiving process, which was folk art archiving process. Most of us know 5 or 6 folk art forms: Madhubani, Varli, Gond, Bani Thani, 4, 5, 6. Somebody may know something, somebody would know something else because of the region that they belong. But there are over 300 different folk art forms in India that are being practiced or were almost practiced and now getting extinct because nobody is practicing them. And so we started another archiving process of folk art forms. And this folk art forms is what we took to the design schools. And they loved that because they were not teaching these, like 1 or 2 workshops here and there. And so what happened was they loved the idea. We took the folk art form to them, or maybe a folk artist also. The students then used that folk art form to imagine something on their own. This is the line, these are the colors, these are the dots, these are the whatever, a depiction of a bird or an elephant. Now they started doing, how would I depict it? This is my base. On that, they started building. So once they started building on that, we had different, colors come out, different designs come out, and we storyboarded all of that. Then we animated all of that. So now we have a repository of over 140 stories, animated stories in different folk art forms from India. Okay, which is like a huge exercise that we've done over the last 3 years. That is where we have worked with more than 250 art students across India. So it's the way you look at it, the way you interpret the possibilities that are in front of you, how you connect those and say that, let me make something for myself. Let me do something more than this. Okay, so after this, I would like to take you through this. I hope this works like this. Okay, does it work like this? No. How does this work? How does this go ahead? None of the arrows are working. No, that's not working. This worked too much now. Which one? Achha. Page up and page down. Oh. So, as I said earlier, I've already said it. Traditional storytelling customs have enriched our societies. Mr. Roy also talked about the. That's how we understood everything earlier. So they are disappearing. So as storytellers, we felt it was our mission to protect stories. So we went on a journey across India. I hope this plays. Will it play? Let's see.
हमें एक ठो कहानी याद आ रही है। बहुत छोटे रहे तभी तो सुनित रहे, कभी अम्मा कहें कभी मामा कहें। और रात को खास करके छत के ऊपर जब गर्मी रही बहुत तो ऊपर सब बिछाए नहीं, नीचे दरी वरी सब बिछा लेते, तो मुँह बैठ के अब कभी अम्मा सुनावे कभी मामा सुनावे।
So, and thus we made it our goal to unearth gems. So we met classical musicians, dancers, storytellers, folk storytellers, classical storytellers, and we documented all of it. So we have more than, I would say, 2,000 different documentaries that we have with us of different traditions. So in the last decade, we have collected, translated, documented, which is what I said, where no art was there except the cinema art. Absolutely. So this I've already told you about the British Council support. And when COVID happened, so now you have to think on your feet. So when COVID happened, we couldn't go out and document anymore. We couldn't do anything. So I think 24th, the country had a lockdown, and 26th, we had our very first storytelling session, a festival, 3-day festival, online storytelling festival, where people from US, Iran, India, everywhere told us stories, told children stories, just to boost everybody's morale because you're caught in home. So it went from Friday to Sunday, and we didn't know how to do it, but we did it, and it just went beautifully. Some storytellers were online, and there were more than 1 lakh people watching them, hearing them, listening to those stories in Bangla. And all these stories were in different languages. Somebody told Gujarati, somebody told Marathi or Bangla. So as I said, storytellers across India, Argentina, Mexico, New Zealand, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, they all told stories. These are not videos, just this thing. So we have traveled a lot across the country to collect these stories. But so that these stories continue to live in your heart, the children's hearts and their minds. And you know, tomorrow, once they know India ka art kya hai, कल अगर वो आर्टिस्ट बनना चाहेंगे, फिल्म मेकर्स बनना चाहेंगे, एनिमेटर्स बनना चाहेंगे, दे विल हैव समथिंग टू गो बैक टू कि मैंने ऐसा कुछ देखा था, देयर इज अ स्टाइल, लेट मी सी, इट्स अ बिंदी बिंदी स्टाइल, लेट मी गो एंड फिगर आउट व्हाट इज दैट स्टाइल. They may go to Perplexity and say which is that style. Perplexity will tell them and give them 5 options also. But they have to be exposed physically to the, as I said, to the monument, to the museum, to that food, to that music, for them to experience कि उन्हें क्या अच्छा लगता, what do they want to do. So we imagined various folk art forms into this. This is from Goa. This is fun. part which is relevant for you, how different art forms were used to depict stories. Now, who's heard of Tikuli art form? Or Pipli from Orissa? This is inspired from a Naga shawl, AO Naga shawl. We only have 2 minutes. I think I have already eaten 1 minute. So these are the art forms that we have used, as you can see. Tankha becomes this, shadow puppetry becomes this in a film, sand art becomes this, Kalighat Pat becomes this film, Santhal art form, Tholu Bommalata. So in our process, we do research, assess each art form's suitability for the digital form. And then the internal team and the school that we are working with, if we are not working with the school, we're doing it internally, then we have an internal brainstorming. We make detailed characters, develop our storyboard, and then we start doing animation. Sometimes we make these characters and we do stop motion animation, and not do animation, the digital animation. So we have launched the Folklore app, which is available in English and Hindi, and I think this should be my last video. That's how we have brought together fine arts and technology. A thought that started as just saving stories is about now also archiving India's folk art treasure and teaching as many people as possible. So the design students also, and the younger ones also who are still in school, what it means for it to be Indian art, for what it means to be Indian, for what it means to come from a land that has, been everybody keeps saying, cradle of civilization. We also have to do that in many of our museums. So something that has been going on for 5,000, 6,000, 4,000, 4,500 years, and there is a continuum. उस देश का वासी होने का मतलब क्या है, वो कलर्स क्या हैं, वो रंग क्या हैं, वो डिजाइन्स क्या हैं, वो आकार क्या हैं, उनसे मैं अपना फ्यूचर कैसे बना सकता हूँ. तो you can think anything. You can see how we started from somewhere and we went somewhere. तो आप अपना फ्यूचर खुद ही बनाते हैं with your innovations, with your inspirations, your motivations, but continue to learn, continue to observe and absorb, okay, and understand what works for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for reinforcing the magic of storytelling in your great presentation. Next, I invite Ms. Kamini Minocha, next speaker. Ms. Kamini Minocha is a senior artist and founder of Domain of Art, a gallery in North Delhi. She holds a diploma in fine arts and has received formal training at Triveni Kala Sangam, New Delhi. Her gallery supports emerging artists, showcases renowned talent, and makes art accessible for all. Ms. Kamini has held solo exhibitions at the India Habitat Center in 2024 and 2025 and has participated in numerous group shows across India. Her works explore the interplay of realism, abstraction, and surrealism, often inspired by the philosophy of life. She has also presented a research paper on building abilities through art at Delhi University. Please welcome Ms. Kamini Minocha with a huge round of applause. Welcome, ma'am.
My greetings to all the creative minds gathered here today. I welcome you all to the exciting world of art. You have chosen a field not of talent and skill, but about vision, persistence, and adaptability. You must be excited to know that might be a large number of successful artists might have been seated here years ago where you're seated today, wondering that how their passion would get turned into profession. I'll be talking here today as an artist and a gallerist. I shall start with it that my journey of art, which started in the year 1980 at Thakur Singh's Art Gallery, known as Indian Academy of Fine Arts, after completing my master's in English literature. That was an era of brushes, colors, and canvas on paper only. There was no internet as such. And we used to be given faded photographs to use as a reference at that time. I don't think so you can imagine ever, But now at one click, you get numerous images to start with, rather get confused with what to start with. I spent 2 years out there and, but we were forced to explore our minds to create something innovative, But now, there's so much availability on the internet. At that time, there was no YouTube channel. Now you have to YouTube channel to learn from. But the biggest drawback is that you don't get corrected or any improvement out there. And through a proper institute, you get a professional degree to start with your career as such. Then joined Triveni Kala Sangam, where we were not given any kind of reference also, but were always encouraged to start with sketching or painting with the life subject which was around. We used to make portraits of each other at that time. Now, I believe that technology is to be used as a tool only, but not to be completely pampered with, but because this serves as a threat to creativity. One should use technology to enhance the work, but not to suppress the soul of art. Technology has not replaced art, it has expanded the possibilities. It has brought new dimensions to the world of fine arts. It is most effective as a marketing tool. When I opened my art gallery in the year 2005, there was no social media. I used to get the invites printed and then post it individually. But now I find it so simple. I just make a poster at Canva, upload it at Facebook, Insta, and my WhatsApp broadcast list of art buyers at no extra time. It has become so easy now. Even selling of art has become so easy that anyone who is interested in my artwork gets it confirmed at Google Pay without waiting for any external help of a driver or car. I send it by the post. That has again become so simple and easy, When at this stage, I can say that this is really very helpful. Now we have online art galleries like NDTV's Mojato and another ones like Art Finders, and you must be knowing a lot of them yourself. Rather than spending time in my physical gallery, I prefer to use the online platforms. One thing more I would like to share that with the help of technology in COVID times, I started with online art sessions with senior citizens globally. It was quite a successful venture as I was able to use art as a therapy to heal them who were in their late 60s and 70s at that time, and those who had done sketching or painting in the college days or school days. But they started feeling quite thrilled and motivated at that time. That was again with the help of technology. Technology has made the art quite affordable so that it can reach every home now. It was actually belonged to a very niche area, but now it is quite common through technology. One can be satisfied with having digital canvas prints as such at low cost. Then art tools gives an artist a suggestion for color palette also, generate composition and assist in ideation. Today, art and technology coexist, making the art more dynamic and accessible than ever before. E-commerce and online galleries help artists to showcase their work to worldwide audience and sell their work without physical exhibition, saving their time, effort, and money. Now, here are few points as a visual artist I would like you to share with you. First is originality. Copying trend is short-lived. Try to develop your own style of work, and that comes more with practice and gets better at every work. And then you can develop your own style. Then is professional skill and consistency. It is not enough that you create a masterpiece and relax and wait till it gets recognized and sold, but keep on working consistently as there is no end to learning. More you work consistently, better results will be served in your platter. You should practice on one thing until and unless you really get bored with that and you get attracted to some other thing. Then art buyers, this is regarding art buyers, they're very inquisitive for the title also given by the artist and the meaning of that in relation to that artwork. They want to explore your state of mind when you worked on that particular painting and the reason of the colors you chose in that state of mind. For example, when an artist is in a happy mood, he or she chooses to apply bright shades. And when little gloomy likes to paint with dark hues. Then you should know about market awareness. That is, for that you have to visit art exhibitions, art events quite frequently. We should try to study the current trends in colors, techniques, and styles, but without becoming a trend chaser. Try to use that in your own style and strength, like using that as a stepping stone. Then is presentation and documentation. Framing, catalogs, and social media play a very vital role in this. Then experiment with new ideas and techniques excel. I'm from an old school, still stuck to my oil on canvas and acrylic on canvas. But my daughter is a corporate professional. She's a watercolor artist and loves to experiment with new techniques and styles time to time. Like she uses gouache, alcohol ink, so many other mediums, soft pastel papers. Even papers are of different kind, And we went to London. She bought a lot of, art stuff from there, which was very different. And she likes to experiment with that, but I'm still not comfortable with any other medium rather than oil and acrylic on canvas. Last year in India at festival, I came across an artist who worked on canvas with charcoal and was really a splendid art. Another point as a gallerist I would like to tell you is that is networking. The most important in this competitive world. Try to build relationship with your colleague artists, curators, and art writers as well. Many galleries invites happen only on referrals and not with open calls. Keep attending events and workshops without getting your own work neglected, as by the end of the day, what matters is your quality work. And then comes professional ethics. If you're working on commission works, you have to meet with deadlines and with your commitment and behavior with your client is very, very important. The art world rewards reliability as much as creativity. Then this art journey is always not so glamorous as it seems to be on page 3. An artist has to face rejection, slow art sales, and criticism, which give rise to creative blocks at times, but one has to build a castle of dreams by ignoring and using them against to stay motivated. This requires a lot of patience, perseverance, and one should have a balanced mind to be able to create much better than before. As an artist, there are few things which you have to keep doing. That is, keep a daily or weekly art journal. In the beginning of your art journey, you can follow a few of the artists and study their creative and career paths. But ultimately, you have to develop your own style. Then you should write short descriptions of your works, document your work with apt titles and high quality images. You should participate in group exhibitions to stay updated and motivated. And now I would like to discuss few of the career opportunities that you must be knowing, of course, but let me remind you. You can start as a visual artist, sculptor, art educator. You can become an art teacher in a school or college, can be private mentor or an art workshop conductor. One can become a graphic designer or animator or a fashion designer. You can join an advertising agency or publications as an illustrator. One can become an art conservator or restorer, preserving heritage artworks. can become an animator or a concept artist for films, games, or wall content. These days, murals are very much upcoming, as everyone knows that this is really in, and everybody's looking for a good muralist. Then art therapists, as I told you earlier, that in COVID times, I used art as a therapy also. One can become a freelancer, an entrepreneur, selling art through exhibitions and work on commissions. Recently, I've come to know that in UK there is much demand of pop artists also. They want them to create images to be used on the backside of the mobile covers. This is really in Europe. Then options of a gallery manager is there and becoming gallerist if one is blessed to have ample of space at a good location to have a natural footfall. Then there is one more option of making a live portrait on a wedding event or other events to make it more charming and audience engaging. One thing more I would like to discuss is type of art buyers will come across. One type is who have large pockets to buy brand names, and other type is just a beginner who is lifestyle conscious but doesn't want to spend much on art. That type of buyer needs to be educated and convinced to go for affordable art. Then I would like to discuss between oil and difference of oil and acrylic on canvas. Oil on canvas is more time consuming, as you must be knowing, and acrylic is fast drying. As commission work is concerned, you should always prefer acrylic work. Then if you're going for commission work, better to discuss concept, size, medium, and price in detail. Otherwise, it is difficult to match with what goes with the mind of a client. These days, most of the clients want Vastu-friendly paintings. Then difference between participation of a solo show and a group show. An artist has a benefit of putting up a solo show as it is highly beneficial from the sale point of view, as the buyer does not get confused from jumping from the works of one artist to another, and the rate of conversion is much higher. And for that, one has to have 30 to 50 paintings with her. And in a group show, you can participate with 3 to 4 paintings only, but chances of sale are very meager as one has to be in direct competition. To conclude, I can say that these have been my viewpoints based on my observation and experience. And I would say that technology is not just not supporting art, but rather revolutionizing it. It has not diminished the soul of art, but rather has amplified its voice. But eventually, it depends upon you whether you want to take it as a threat or a partner. That's all I have to say about. I wish you all a grand success for the bright future. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insights on art and creativity. I'm sure we all get benefited by that. So with that, I'll be introducing you to the final speaker of today's seminar. It is Mr. Gaganpreet Singh Anand. The art and animation manager at Aristocrat Gaming has over 15 years of experience in 3D animation and creative production. He began his career with Big Animation Pune, contributing to international projects such as Barnyard TV series and Little Krishna. At Kathputli Animation Studios, he worked on the Commonwealth Games 210 advertisement and the IPL 2010 3D stereoscopic project. Over the years, he has held leadership roles in studios such as Citrus Inc. and SkySafe Studios, specializing in character animation, motion graphics, and team management. Mr. Gaganpreet continues to drive innovation in animation while mentoring creative teams in the gaming and entertainment industry. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Gaganpreet Singh Anand. Presentation. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are doing well and you are enjoying this session. The session has been very, insightful and full of, mind-blowing presentations that amazing speakers have shared. I will start with, big thank you to everyone for, inviting me here and giving me this wonderful opportunity to, share my experience with all of you and to interact with you. It's a great honor to be here. I am very excited to talk about today's topic and with a particular focus on AI and how and how the technology is being used in the domain of animation production and gaming. Ma'am has given a brief introduction about myself. So at present, I'm working with Aristocrat Technologies. I'm working as a manager for art and animation. So Aristocrat is an Australian company, and they are into the business of slot gaming. And the games and their games are and played in casinos all over the world in North America and in Australia. So I'll start with this presentation of how this AI technology is helping in the field of art and animation for movie productions and for gaming. So art has always been about it's a way to express feelings, ideas, and culture. And with AI, that process has become a lot faster and much easier, and sometimes even more fun. Today we have new tools with us, the latest tools with us, and all the technology with us. So I treat AI as a new tool in my toolbox. And also this technology is empowering artists with numerous powerful tools which they can expand and which they can use to expand their creativity. Now I have compiled few images and videos for everyone. I'll share the screen. Okay. All right. You can see this image in front of you. So first, I'll talk about how AI is being helpful in art or in illustration. So you guys must be doing art and illustrations in your course. So as I have used a tool called Firefly. It's Adobe Firefly. So as you all know, you just need to write a prompt and whatever image you need, a similar image will be generated. So like I've given a prompt to Firefly, and this image has been generated. So like if any one of you wants to wants to make a character and you want some inspiration, some reference, so it's a good start point. And then once the image is generated, you give the input what kind of character do you want. So the character will be generated, and then maybe you can refine it and do some minor tweakings. So it's a good start point for for all of you. And then similar and similar results and like a 3D character as well. So before the AI, so a lot of time personally was used to be wasted doing research and everything. So now at that time is saved. Now you write a prompt, whatever you need, the AI will generate it for you. So character like this as well. I mean, if you need any inspiration to make a superhero character as well, I mean, so you don't you don't have to copy it. You just have to take inspiration from it. And then even more more complex characters as well. So this is a Japanese, Japanese warrior. So in our production pipeline in Aristocrat, so what we do is that we are not using this technology in a full-fledged manner. So what we do is that we use it in bits and pieces. So like we'll suppose an artist makes a line art of a character, and then if he has to do the coloring part as well, so then it might take about 3 or 4 days to do the coloring. So what we do is that we use Firefly, and we give a prompt to color this line art. So we'll have a level one of a level one of this character with us, and then we'll do some refining, we'll do some retouch, and then the character will get ready. So it is saving a significant amount of time for us. And then even the more complex characters, the one for which you need good references as well. And then characters like this as well. This gives you this option to take your imagination to the next level. And this as well. It's endless. And you can think of anything. All right, so those were the characters. So now, the landscapes as well, the scenes as well. So the most complex scenes as well. So for this image, I just wrote a prompt that two futuristic characters are fighting, in New York, and this is the output that it is given to me. So now, I can use it as a starting point of my digital painting or anything. So again, and landscapes as well. So if you are in a production house, so you would easily spend about 5 to 6 days to create this image. I'm not saying that you must kill your creativity, but it is a good starting point for you guys, and then you can and refine it. You can add more stuff on it. So just to save your time, and some fantasies background as well. So again, it will just give you a reference. Treat this as a reference. Don't treat it as a final artwork. You need to protect your creativity as well as your skills as well. So just do some modification in it. So it will save a lot of time for you guys. And in production as well, many studios are using this. Image. Sure. So for product visualization as well, you can use AI. So as a starting point, I just wrote a prompt that make an image wherein I need chocolate ice cream with me. So our image has been generated like this, and then you can, and this is also generated by AI only. So your prompt has to be very clear, and the only purpose of using AI is to get a starting point for your art. Please don't treat it, this is a final art. And then a video has also been created. So it's all AI. Just in a minute or 2 minutes, the time of 2 minutes. Again, please treat it as reference. I mean, don't kill your creativity. Don't depend entirely on AI. This image also has been created using AI. So, and from cartoony output to 2D output to realistic output as well. You have the tools to get your work started. If you want to, I mean, create any advertisement, a banner or a poster. So this is a good point. And then, I mean, you can do some minor edits on this image. I mean, maybe you want to replace popcorns with a ball of candies or I mean, ball of shapes. So you have everything to I mean to get started. It's just that treat this as a starting point, and then you do further edits on it. And this as well. I mean, if you want to, I mean, if you have a freelance job with you and you want to make something like album cover, then you don't need proper model for you, and you can write a prompt and the image is there for you.
First, I gave it animation that was really rough to see how well it
So in 2D and now let's discuss the 2D animation part of AI. So just imagine if you guys have done a rough mock-up of storyboarding and you want a color version of that. You don't want to spend time. You have a lot of tasks with you. You have I mean a deadline to meet. So I mean you can use AI in that as well. Again, just to save time. I mean don't entirely depend on it. So like this is a animatic done by an artist, and then he used AI and showed him the character look, and then he asked him to, I mean, do the color fills of this animatrix, and here is its result. So it's not that much clean because the drawings are also not that clean, but I mean, it's again to save time. I mean, you have this option as well for 2D animation. Uh, and then Uh, and then now this artist made a clean line art, and the color I mean output that came from here is much better. And some more. I mean, this is animatics, and on the right is the color mode of this. So again, if in a production studio you would be doing this, so it's a great technique to save I mean time. So on the left is hand drawn, and on the right is the output by AI. And then And another example that's on the left is the, hand drawn, and on the right is the AI. So obviously the hand drawn is looking, it has more emotions to it. But again, it's all about saving time. If you have time, you please do the hand drawn stuff. If you don't have time, you can opt to choose the AI as well. So more examples. This is another example. So this image was uploaded and a prompt was given to AI to do some fancy animation, to do some fancy dance. So this is the AI result. It's mechanical. It's not that, it does not have much emotions in it. And then it's the hand-drawn output by a human. Obviously, AI has failed to capture that expression, that feel. And this is AI output, and this is human output. So again, it's just a tool. The creativity lies in you, not in AI. So for 3D, student, 3D modelers, 3D animators, for them as well, there's much. AI has a much to offer to you. So this sofa was entirely created using prompts. So no modeling involved in this, no time spent on modeling. So just a simple prompt of to make a sofa, and this output was there. And then it can also texture as well for you. So no no need to spend time on texturing as well. Also, then if you want to change texture of a particular particular part or particular area, then as well you have the option. Like in the previous image, it was a plain texture, and now there's a different texture to this below. And one more option. And then the final output is in clean polygon mesh. So it's not like it's a messy mesh to it will generate a messy mesh. So it's a clean quad mesh for you. If you want to edit it as well, you have the option. And then character as well, the character modeling as well you can do with AI. This is a character, an astronomer. The artist just gave a prompt to it. So this has been generated using Meshy AI. This is a tool called Meshy AI, and he just wrote a prompt that he needs a model, a 3D model for astronomer. So this model is generated, and then it has also done texturing as well on this model. So just imagine if you have to make a 3D model, 4 to 5 days of modeling, and then another 2 to 3 days of texturing. And your job is done within 5 minutes. So it's just that, if you don't have time, if suppose this character was to use in background, let's say crowd, so then you can surely use it. If it's a main character, you should think about it. So, and then you have the option to rig as well. You just set the pivot points, all the anchor points, and the rig is done. And then you have the options to choose from different gesture, different animation, different motion you want to I mean, you want this character to do alert animation, dance animation, agree song, and then you have the option to export it in various format. You could bring the character in Max or Maya, whichever 3D application you use. So here are some more examples of 3D models, the type of 3D models that and then this tool can make for you. That's about it. So again, a very important message for all of us is that AI is not meant to kill our creativity. I mean, the course that you guys are doing, fine arts, BF in animation, everything. So you just, I mean, pay attention on that course. You just master the skill. You just become expert of that skill. Suppose you're doing modeling, you just become expert of modeling. Along with modeling, try to learn rigging as well. Try to learn texturing as well, because the I mean, technology is here to support us. It is not here to replace us. So you should have that skills with you, which will be a lifesaver for you. If you go into the market, you must have a powerful skill with you. I mean, modeling, texturing, animation, everything. You just become expert of that skill. So, and again, I mean, to conclude. Again, to conclude, so I mean, AI, as I mentioned, so AI is here not to replace our creativity, but to extend it. So the confluence of fine arts and AI is not a threat. It is an invitation to explore and create something unimaginable. The most impactful art in the future, will not be made by AI, but not be made by, but it will be made with AI, with the support of AI. So your mind, your creativity will drive everything, and then AI is there to support you and to save your time. And with that, I would like to thank all of you for having me here and giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the possibilities of AI tools.
Now, before we move towards the question and answer session, I would like to request our respected chairperson, Ma'am, Mr. Divya Chauhanji, to say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi. Thank you so much. A very good morning to all. Am I audible, Dr. Joshi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. I'm sorry I've been online, but my voice is not too great, so I've not been able to speak too much. I'll be very brief. Mr. Gaganpreet, I really enjoyed that. I think it's very important for the students to understand the pros and cons of AI and not take everything the other way. So it's really nice that you shared it. And I did not see any emotion when AI came in. So I think that part is true. So thank you so much for sharing it. Kamini ji, I know it's not easy to run an art gallery. I've been there once before, but I think it's a very exciting journey. So I wish you all the best, and please keep supporting young artists, and maybe as our art foundation can also be in touch with you for long term. Vandana ji, I really enjoyed your stories. I think it took me back to my childhood. And I hope the students felt the same way, because I think it was wonderful that you could share it. Harsh ji and Amit ji, thank you for being there. I couldn't see your presentations fully, but I will definitely get a video from campus. I just want to say one thing to the students, that all the guests are here for you. They have taken out time for you. They don't have the whole day. They have come for you. Please give them a loud applause. I request you all to give them a loud applause right now, because they have taken out time to share their experience with you so that you can learn. I wish you all the best. And Dr. Joshi, many congratulations. This was very interesting to you and your team for organizing this.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's our founder's vision to keep the arts going, and I hope we continue that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for this. Now we'll start with the question answer session. So as we have said earlier also, speakers are here all the way do ask relevant questions. Just give the mic.
Yes, sir.
Just raise your hand. Somebody will come to you with mic.
Student, the session is open for question answers. Good afternoon, ma'am. Any questions?
I would like to ask a question, if that's okay.
Yes, ma'am. Please go.
I think, Kamini ji, this will be to you. You said selling art, you prefer the online platform. With art, don't you want to feel when you want to see the art? Don't you want to see it personally before you pick it up? Or you think inexpensive art can be picked up online?
I think art can be online. And they have been doing.
I think affordable art can be bought online very easily because they don't spend so much on that. They use it like more of a home decor. I can say that because traditional art is quite confined to it's quite niche, that way. The buyers are very, conscious about which brand are they. Actually, it depends upon the pocket, that one can afford. If it's traditional art, they go for brand names and they want to feel it, because if they get connected to the art, then only they'll purchase it. But as far as affordable art is concerned, which is, much more available these days, and buyers are also, they don't spend much on art. Especially, I would say that those who are just lifestyle conscious people, they just want to say that I have paintings. It doesn't matter to them that who is the artist, what brand name it is. They're not bothered about it. They just want to decorate their home with art. So they can, they buy online very easily.
Fair enough. So they buy an art piece or a print, they don't care.
Yeah.
As long as
They don't care.
it covers.
They buy it very easily, It's very easy for them to possess the art, which they want to buy. Otherwise, if they want to buy more, if they want to buy expensive art, they have to go to the galleries itself.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you so much, Kamini. That makes sense. Thank you.
Any questions from faculty members?
Thank you, ma'am. Any more questions? Yes, at the back.
Good afternoon. I really enjoyed all of your talks and presentations.
Just tell your name first.
I am Ruhi and I am a fourth year animation student. First of all, my question would be to Gagan sir. Sir, you said that you showed us AI generated models and textures. As students, we are learning 3D modeling and texturing. And as of recently, a lot of 3D modelers were laid off from the jobs due to this thing only that AI can generate 3D models and textures. So, how as students would should we look up to modeling and texturing field, and where does AI not take our jobs?
Okay, so Rohit, sir, I mean, the thing is that, you should look, this as this way that AI is not here to take your jobs. So again, and like I mentioned, so it's there to support you, to enhance your creativity, to take your creativity to the next level. So coming to a question of, of modeling. So see the, as you saw in the 2D animation, so there was that human touch, that emotion missing in the animation. So similarly for model as well, I don't think that AI will be able to create, that type of model with and such detail that that you will be able to make. So it's just that use AI models for creating and props and creating background characters. So not the main characters. I mean, obviously, the AI will not be able to make such detailed models, and again, that human touch will be missing. So that perfection will be missing in those models, and this is where and you will come into the picture. So the job of AI is just to help us to fasten our work. It's not here to replace us in any way. So as you mentioned for modeling, so I will suggest that apart from modeling, I mean you learn texturing as well, you learn rigging as well, and you learn a bit of animation as well. So now is the era of multitasking. Earlier, back then, 10, 15 years ago, they used to say that you need to specialize in animation or in modeling. So now the times have changed, and now you learn 3D modeling, animation, all those things, and try to learn After Effects as well. So in our company, in Aristocrat, so I was a 3D animator. So but over here, I had to do 2D animation in After Effects, and then I had to do 3D modeling as well. So I had learned these tools in the past. So it's just that you need to have a lot of tools in your kitty. You need to have a knowledge of lot of tools, and then and you won't be replaceable in the job.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
I have a question with Vandana ma'am. Yes. I saw your app there with the kids. You are taking that animation process with that app. Just want to ask, what can be the multiple ways to make it more promotional to Indian art making to animation? Because there are multiple things which you have already broadcasted there. So there was a question that how these things can be more made available to the students to see them, because this app even was existing, but there were many people who are not aware about it. So that how can we take it further?
I hope this is working. Yeah. So we can do sessions here. We can make it available to Amity University, because I think we've also had 3-4 interns from your university working with us in the past, and they've done wonderful work. Apart from that, we are also now making books and other things with them. The app was one way of getting stories to children, but now we are thinking of weaning them off digital time, screen time so much. So actually, the app has 4 aspects to it. You can also listen to stories, and you get more marks if you listen to stories and not watch the video. And now we are making books in innovative styles, like the storytelling traditional styles, like a covered box. We're making books in a covered form. We're making books in chamba rumal. It's like a big rumal handkerchief on which painting happens. So making a book like that. We're making books like shawls. We're making books like patachitra. So we could do exhibitions in your university, your faculty, and children can see that. We can have demonstrations. We can also work with the Amity in terms of get 1 or 2 folk artists here who can teach their folk art form to students over a period of 1 day, 2 day, a week. And then children can then work with those art forms with their own imagination and do something different. That's the kind of work that we've done with IIT or even CEPT and a Norwegian university, wherein it's like a collaboration between us and the university or the art faculty. So we can definitely do this.
Thank you so much. I think it's very interesting. We'll definitely discuss and try to work out by which we can collaborate and associate and take it further from there. Yeah, I think we'll be in touch with you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Any more questions from the student?
Hello everyone, I am a first year student studying visual communication design, and I have a follow-up question. As Gagan sir said that AI will not completely take over our jobs, but if we see 10 years back, AI was not as advanced as it is today. So don't you think that AI will be more advanced in the next 10 to 15 upcoming years, and how are you so sure that AI will not take over our job, especially as students learning graphic designing and visual communication designing in the future?
So see, I mean, as students, you might have this fear of AI. I can understand that, but in our company, and in many companies, there are strict copyright laws and rules. So you cannot blindly use AI. No production house can blindly use AI. The AI will not give 100% output to them. So there is something, a 10-20% a human interference has to be there. His skills has to be there. So regarding your question, like 10 years ago, I mean, this technology was not much advanced. Now it is advanced, and in coming 10 years, it will be more advanced. So see, and with time, new doors also open. तो इट्स दैट्स दैट कि अभी मॉडलिंग के लिए इसकी लिमिट इतनी है, कल को ठीक है अच्छी हो जाएगी, बट अगेन देयर विल बी अ न्यू स्किल दैट यू विल एंड यू विल बी अपग्रेडिंग. So it's like कि मॉडलिंग अभी आपने लर्न कर लिया, it's not the end. You keep on learning new skills as well, just to make sure that and you stay in your company or and you stay in your job. So it's all about learning new things and not कि मॉडलिंग मैंने सीख ली, मैं कुछ और नहीं लर्न करूंगी अभी. यू हैव टू कॉन्स्टेंटली लर्न न्यू टूल्स, न्यू स्किल्स, and you will be replaceable then. You don't have to worry about it. Just concentrate on your skill. Just concentrate on your job, and just focus on the job, and you will be irreplaceable. I mean, I see it that way. कि अगर मैं मेहनत कर रहा हूँ, इफ आई एम लर्निंग न्यू टूल्स, ट्रेंडिंग टूल्स से जो मैं लर्न कर रहा हूँ मैं, तो देन यू डोंट हैव टू वरी एट ऑल, बिकॉज न्यू ट्रेंड्स विल कम, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज विल कम, and you will also and upgrade yourself. So modeling है, modeling के अलावा you learn rigging, you learn testing, you learn animation as well. Down the line, you have to do everything. I mean, some part of everything. You have to be a generalist, not a specialist. And that's the key, and that's the thing that will make you survive in the market. Thank you.
I would like to add something that as young students and who are going to go into future in another 5 years are going to be professionals, you should not be worried. Just like we have different genres in fine arts, like abstract, landscape, and different genres, surrealism. The same way will be a AI generated art. So you will be having a different, it's nothing to be afraid of. You have to be creative, you have to be original. And just like we have our traditional classical art, form of art, or a traditional form of art, the same way will be a AI generated art. It's already happening in international biennales and in international art fairs. There's a totally different section where you can add your AI generated art in a separate field, but not along with other fields of art. That's all.
I would like to also add to this. I didn't get your name. What's your name? Shaina. There are diverse things happening right now at this dais, right? Well, Vandana ma'am, if you look at her, what she is doing, you know what she is doing? She is getting into hyper-localization. Have you heard about this term? Right, exactly that she's doing. So she's bringing alive the local art form. Trust you me, AI will have good amount of time to actually mimic what India represents. So, there are ways and means to, evade problems and create your own niche. So don't think always global. That hi, मेरे को gaming industry में जाना है, अगर मेरे को rigging नहीं सीखा तो मेरा क्या हो जाएगा? Imagine how do you do that storytelling when it comes to India? Because India is going all over the place, all over the globe. It's almost the third largest economy going to be. So we have got a story to say. We have got a narrative to present to the world. Think from that perspective, right? And then there is a scope. Because in India, there is, as Gagandeep sir has said, right, try and be a generalist. Don't try to be a specialist, then you have a problem. Because India as a platter, अगर खाने को भी देखो ना, from north to south to east to west, you have got so many variety. From clothes to art to dimensions to the way, the accent. How do you capture that? Think from that perspective, right?
Thank you, sir. With that,
Just now what you answered, I want to just add, I don't know, I want to make a comment that you have to be a journalist and not a specialist. I think to do anything like an expert, you have to be a specialist. You have to do one thing for longer time. And here, the multidisciplinary or whatever, even AI's students are being bothered about future. Your present is not full of AI. No? So be in the present. When there will be life of full of AI, you behave like that. Okay. The sky is full of sky is not full of aeroplanes. There are birds also because there are trees on the land. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With this, I would like to request Dr. Pradeep Joshi ji to felicitate our esteemed guests for the day. Yes. Mr. Amit Roy. Thank you so much, sir. Miss Harsh Lumba. Thank you so much, ma'am. Miss Vandana Pant. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Kamini Minocha. And Mr. Gaganpreet Singh Anand. Thank you so much to all the esteemed guests. On behalf of ASF, I thank all of you. With that, we come to the end of the seminar, and I would like to propose a vote of thanks. As today's seminar draws to a close, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all our eminent speakers for sharing their valuable knowledges and experiences. I'm sure all of us have taken a lot with us today. On behalf of Amity School of Fine Arts, we extend our sincere thanks to Ms. Divya Chauhanji, our beloved chairperson, ma'am, for being there and for encouraging us always, and to Professor Dr. Pradeep Joshi ji for his gracious presence and guidance. A special note of thanks to the organizing team and to all the students for their enthusiastic participation. With this, we officially close the seminar on Fine Arts, Confluence of Creativity and Technology. Wishing you all a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.
Can we